both ball clubs. Both teams a little bit shaky in the early going, turning the ball over, missing some shots. And Hunter would like to get in their offense. They just haven't been going down. Good chance for both coaches just to tell their respective clubs to settle down, stick to their game plan, and keep working hard, and things will turn out their way.
Roger Suki and Deion Jackson into the ball game for the Braves. Another Bradley turnover. That's 7, including the 3-player control foul. Starting lineup still in there for ISU. Hunter all alone and a block by Deion Jackson. Hunter had all kinds of real estate. Nobody was paying attention to him.
There was just a complete mix-up there. Nobody knew who was guarding Thomas Hunter. He took the ball right down the lane. It was just great defensive anticipation by Deion Jackson to come over and block that shot. Bradley got a couple of times on a couple of those blocks inside that could have been easily back.
Great defensive recovery by the freshman Deion Jackson. White on Wemhainer. This is Roger Suki. He gives it inside. Deion Jackson, the fake. And the swish. Deion Jackson off the bench with his first 2. The Braves leading scorer, averaging almost 14 points a game.
Good hustle and defensive play there by Deion coming around, knocking that ball out of bounds.
Redbirds inbounded.
Molinari had a couple of people calling him from why it took him 9 minutes to get his leading scorer in the game Saturday against Tulsa. He brought him in a little quicker tonight. He must have been listening to the fans.
Thomas Hunter falls asleep on that play, misses the pass, and gets called for 3 seconds. Jim Molinari and Bob Bender a little under the weather tonight, both suffering the effects of a cold like just about everybody in the central Illinois area. New man into the lineup for Illinois State, Brian Kern checks in for Thomas Hunter. Kern, sophomore from Centralia. Check that, Vandalia. We played 7 minutes. It's 6-4 Bradley. I think it's cold outside. Neither team doing much offensively. Whistle inside, no basket. I think it's Winslow. And that's his second.
Well, that's a shame, too. The whistle came about a half a second prior to Marcus Pollard taking this pass and knocking down this jump shot from the free throw line.
4th team foul. Dwayne Funchess will check in and replace David Winslow. Tough shot by Vandegaard, and really the Redbirds are doing nothing right offensively. Defensively, they're playing pretty well.
Well, that's good play by David catching that pass. That was not an easy pass to catch. He managed to get it under control and get it in the basket.
The Redbirds, much as they did in Normal a month ago, standing around on offense during the early going against Bradley. Thomas, tough shot off the glass is good. The senior.
Nice stop, head fake. That was just a good shot. Tough shot, too, going straight off the glass like that.
3 Redbirds have scored. It's 8-6 with 12 minutes to go first half.
Thomas is a tough player to guard. He can penetrate. We've seen that a couple of times. Plus, he can hit that outside jump shot. He's a tremendous three-point shooter, so you've got to give him respect on both ends.
They whistle away from the ball. And I didn't get who they called that on. Looks like it's going to go against Scott Taylor, his first, second team foul. Chad Altadonna, sophomore, checks into the lineup for Illinois State, as does Steve Fitch. Punches in there for Bradley. He promptly kicks it, almost kicks it out of bounds. Roger Suki gives to Deion Jackson, the freshman, guarded by Fitch. Punches and Kern going at it inside.
5 seconds
Shot
on the shot clock.
At 4, now 3, 2, 1. They don't get it off. Richard Thomas picks it off anyway. That's the 8th turnover. Bradley turned the ball over 5 times in a row against Tulsa Saturday, and the Golden Hurricane only managed to score 2 points off the ball out. A lot of contact there, and they don't call anything until the ball goes out of bounds. Got a timeout on the floor with 11-12 to go in the first half. It's all defense. It's defensive struggle. It looks like they might let them play just a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact there. It could have been anything. Could have been a charge. Could have been Charles reaching in. They decide to call nothing. The ball goes out of bounds, and they give it to Bradley.
Our Bradley player profile brought to you by Buckroll. Nothing measures up to Buckroll. This being our last televised game of the season, it's only fitting to salute senior guard Charles White. Charles' motto, step up to the challenge in everything. He has exemplified that credo throughout his tenure on the Hilltop. Charles, a criminal justice major. His dream job is to work for the FBI to aid in the war against drugs. A class gentleman, Charles White. We will certainly miss him. And so will the Braves.
ISU shows the press and they back it up. At one time, and a few times, they've had an opportunity to actually get the press set up with a dead ball situation.
Well, Bradley runs everybody back down the floor. Stuckey for 3, and it's good. He has struggled from 3 lately. His last 5 games, he was only 1 for 10, but he hits that one, and Bradley leads at 11-6.
Bradley shooting the ball very well. 5 of 6 now with Roger Stuckey's 3. The problem is they're not getting enough shots.
Taylor for 3 is way off.
ISU shooting 3 of 9 early in the game.
Richard Thomas, the NBA 3 is short, and the Redbirds get it back again.
30% now for the Birds, 3 of 10.
Richard Thomas tries to penetrate and make something happen. Taylor's shot is no good. Kern on the floor, ball on the floor. Fitch and Stuckey, Funches, now Billy Wright.
That's good hustle by Roger. They should have come up with that ball cleanly, but they didn't. But Roger went down on the floor and got it and dug it out.
We're halfway through half number 1, and ISU scored 6 points. It's 11-6 Braves. Charles White, baseline pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound, Steve Fitch, the senior. Chad Altadonna tried to cut. He did cut. Steve Fitch threw it where he was. Thomas and Taylor check out. Todd Cagle, senior walk-on, checks in, as does Chuck Barnes. Illinois State sluggish offensively. Bob Bender looking for someone to spark his ball club. Charles White, no good again. Barnes had the rebound, lost it, and now a foul whistled inside. And who did they catch?
I believe it's going to be on Barnes. That's Charles Barnes. Hey, Dwayne Funches has done a terrific job in the last few games of coming up with loose balls and making big plays. There he came up with that loose ball and was taking it right to the hoop when he was fouled by Charles Barnes. He was on the floor, so Bradley takes the ball out of bounds.
13 foul on Illinois State. The Mullen Army pleading with the fans here to stand up.
Oh, it's a great head fake.
Jackson the miss. Funches misses the tip. Here comes ISU.
There's another screen there by Kern right in front of us. ISU with a lot of movement out high that time down, running almost a lead. He was a good look at Kern. He can set a big screen there. He didn't need to move that time, but he did. It was thoughtful.
4th team foul on Illinois State. They will again show the pressure. Here comes the trap.
It's the first time we've seen any type of trap where there's only one man-to-man.
Well, ISU in a man-to-man press. Bradley sends everybody else but Billy Wright down the floor, and the press isn't very effective. And again, a whistle away from the ball.
This time Funches on an illegal screen. No, Charles
White with his first personal. 5th team foul, and the officials have gone whistle happy. Maybe they figure they can create some action. Not much going on offensively, at least at this end of the floor. by Chuck Barnes to make something happen.
Got a step on Roger early out on the field. Took him right to the basket and laid it in.
Redbirds within 3. Cagle gets a hand on it, and now controlled by Funches. Charles White, tough shot, no good. He's missed his last 3. Altadonna had it, but stepped out of bounds. Altadonna claims he was helped out of bounds. Winslow and Pollard will check in for Bradley, and they will be in the lineup when we return with 8 minutes to go first half. It's Bradley by 3. It's got silly down here. 8 minutes to go first half. There's a Mullen Army and a couch potato. This place is up for grabs. They didn't call the charge that time. Sookie with 2. He's got 5.
Good strong concentration there by Rogers. There's definitely a lot of contact, but he just managed to get the ball in.
Well, they called 3 charges before we played 3 minutes, and now they're letting all kinds of contact go on. Kern, no good.
That's not a bad strategy to get the ball into Kern. David Winslow guarding with those 2 fouls. David's playing a very, very good game. It'd be pretty advantageous to see ISU go at him a few times, try and get him his third, get him out of here in the first half.
That Barnes shot was blocked out of bounds. It'll be Illinois State ball. Mike Vandegaard back into the ball game for Illinois State. And so is Thomas Hunter. It's Altadonna and Cagle, Barnes, Hunter, and Vandegaard for Illinois State. For Bradley, it's Sookie, Wright, White, Pollard, and Winslow. Hunter, the jumper is good.
Boy, they just gave him no respect. He just had the ball twice on the perimeter, and David Winslow is just not even coming out near him. That's fine. Thomas Hunter dribbled into there. He thought he was something and stuck it in.
5 Redbirds have scored at 13-10. 7 minutes to go first half. Bradley and Illinois State. This is Pollard inside. Marcus Pollard, his first 2 of the night.
So I think the biggest difference in the Bradley offense, there's Billy Wright, a great defensive play, anticipating that pass and knocked it away. The best part about Bradley's offense now, over a month ago, we're starting to get cuts toward the basket, starting to make passes, the players cutting toward the basket. The result, obviously, easier shots.
Chad Altadonna called for the reach, his first, 5th team on Illinois State. There's Deion Jackson, a prime candidate for Freshman of the Year honors in the Valley. But guess what? So is his teammate Billy Wright. The chainsaw sits with 6 points and 2 personal fouls. Bradley inbounds. Billy Wright, there's a mismatch. Wright and Vandegaard. Thomas Hunter gets the rebound and the foul whistled on Deion Jackson as Barnes hit the floor.
Barnes and Jackson going at it pretty good. Deion just got the last elbow in, and that's the one that usually gets called. And that's the case there.
Wayne Broussard checks into the ball game for Bradley. Billy Wright takes the seat. Next foul on Bradley. ISU will go to the line for the 1 and bonus. And they could use the free throws because they haven't been getting much work done on the floor. Vandegaard a miss, follows it up though and makes it.
Nice move by Mike Vandegaard around the basket. Bradley initially had a double team on him. He was managed to take that and get the ball up and then get his own rebound and get the second shot in.
His game is rarely pretty, but he gets the job done. A very effective player, a junior from Bloomington, Minnesota. And he comes up with the loose ball. Illinois State can tie with a 3 or get within 1. Wemhainer pulls it back. Thomas tied up by Charles White. A jump ball, and on the alternating possession will be Bradley ball. Wemhainer went up for the shot and had to adjust himself in midair.
That was a nice presence of floor to find somebody to pass the ball to. He got it over to Thomas. Richard just went in where there was a little too much traffic. And Charles was able to tie him up.
Deion Jackson pull-up jumper is good. Jackson with 4, and the Braves lead is 5.
Mike Vandegaard gambled there, and Deion Jackson is one guy you really got to be careful to gamble on, because if you gamble and lose, he's got a couple of dribbles penetrating toward that basket. He's going to be very, very tough to stop.
Vandegaard guarded by Pollard. Vandegaard puts it up, no good. Jackson the rebound. And now he gets it back on the break. Braves will pull it back. A 17-12 Bradley lead. Pollard might have shuffled his feet. Gives to Jackson. It's good. Deion with 6. Bradley by 7.
Tell you what, I'd like to see. We've seen every team in the league. We've never seen a better freshman than Deion Jackson. I don't know that we've seen a better freshman than Deion Jackson in 5 years.
Well, the only way he won't win Valley freshman of the year around here, the Bradley vote is split between him and Billy Wright. Shot clock at 10. Charles White with it. Pushes Wemhainer to the floor. No call, and the bucket gives Bradley a 9-point lead. Charles White, his first 2. 21-12 Braves. Thomas inside, misses the layup. How many of those does Illinois State miss? Loose ball, Charles White comes up with it.
That's a nice play by Charles. He had Marcus running on the left side, but I like the fact he recognized this is a point in the game where another basket here could really put things on ice for ISU.
Big name in the long distance, and Bob Bender's Redbirds have a long way to go to get back in this one. They are down by 9, and we've got just over 3 minutes to go here in the first half. A great defensive effort by Jim Molinari's Braves, but guess what? They're shooting it pretty well, too.
67%, 10 for 15. ISU has gotten some good shots, only 6 of 19, 31% from the field. You got to feel that they can. Continue to get those shots. Eventually, they're going to fall. Hey, they're not leading this league for just any reason at all. They're a pretty good club. They're going to come back. Veteran ball club. They're going to be around.
Jackson the miss, and the late whistle on Vandegaard.
There's a head fake. Vandegaard went up a little bit, stuck the knee out there, and that's where the foul occurred.
That's the first on Vandegaard. Jackson goes to the line to shoot 2. 60% free throw makes his first. That's the first free throw of the ball game with 3 minutes to go.
Surprisingly enough, as aggressively as both these teams play defense, that is the first free throw shot.
And this is the second, tipped and controlled by Billy Wright. Braves by 10. Marcus Pollard knocked to the floor and makes it. Bradley lead is 12. They have doubled up Illinois State.
Well, it's a tough spot in front of that Bradley bench. ISU has thrown that thing away 3 times now right in front of the bench.
Kern checks in for Vandegaard. Stifling defense continues. They held Indiana State to 6 points in one half. Also shot 18% in the second half here Saturday.
Well, we've done a better job in the last 6 or 7 minutes of controlling the basketball, too, not turning it over as much as they did earlier. So
the offensive rebound.
I'll tell you what, Bradley is going to the boards now like they are possessed. Marcus Pollard lacks in size. He is not lacking hard. He went after the slash there like
a man possessed, perhaps.
He took it right out of my mouth.
26-12. Turn, a nice pass, Taylor, and a block on Charles White. And that will send Kern to the free throw line. Second personal on Charles White, who is slow to get up. And we apologize for that momentary loss of vision. Nice pass by Kern.
Nice look by the big man there. Always looking weak side. Defense has a tendency to turn their head on the weak side, and that's usually where somebody can slice to the basket, and that was executed very well there by the Redbirds.
Got Taylor 75% from the line. A junior from Newton, Massachusetts hits the first one. Dwayne Broussard back into the lineup for Bradley. That ends an 11-0 Bradley run.
Bradley's done an excellent job on ISU's big scores. Vandegaard averaging over 14 points a game. Richard Thomas over 13 points a game. Thomas I've got just for 2 and Vandegaard for 4. So Bradley really sealing up where they need to defensively.
Turn with it, down low, turn around jumper, no good. The Redbirds can't get anything to drop, except their shooting percentage.
Charles White basically from the guard position, Roger Suki from the guard position. Thursday both had 8 defensive rebounds. That is really a plus to your defense when you can have guards that can come in and get rebounds while your bigger people are busy blocking out.
Suki for 3, no good. And the Redbirds bring it the other way, down 13, under a minute to play first half. And another turnover. Good defense inside by Bradley. That's 10 for Illinois State. About a 5-second difference in the shot clock and the game clock, so Bradley will hold for 1. This worked Saturday when Charles White nailed the jumper right before the buzzer.
This town is starting to embrace the Molinari system. When was the last time we saw Bradley crowd on its feet as the Bradley team was holding the ball in the first half of the ball game?
When was the last time we saw a Bradley team with a 13-point lead at home? Pollard, the tough jumper, he nails it.
8 points for Pollard. What a first half he has put in.
2-1, Thomas for 3, nails it.
Oh, that's a big one.
Richard Thomas with perhaps the only highlight of the first half for Illinois State.
Richard Thomas.
A great shot by the senior, but guess what? Illinois State is still down 12. It's 28-16 Bradley at the half. Against the first place Illinois State Redbirds, and I guess it shows you what we know. We thought this was going to be a close game, and I think it probably still will be down the stretch.
I think you're right. ISU is leading this league, and they're a pretty good team. They're a veteran team. They're going to regroup at halftime here, I believe, and come out and play a little better in the second half. Bradley riding a little bit of an emotional high right now. They've played very well for the last couple of games. They're playing pretty well tonight, too, and this crowd's behind them. They're going to have to sustain this type of emotion and this type of intensity for 20 more minutes to come out on top here. But thus far, it looks pretty positive for them.
This game has started much as the one in Normal did. Bradley's defense really causing the Redbirds problems, but overlooked, as it has been the last couple of games for Bradley, their offense. Marcus Pollard doing a great job going to the offensive glass here. He has 8 points for Bradley.
He's just had a monster first half. 8 points, like you said. That's really stepping up big for him. But I really like the Bradley offense now with a lot of action cutting toward the basket. We're not seeing that weave outside for as long. We're looking to take the shot when we get it. We're not waiting for 40 seconds to go before we take that shot. This is about our only highlight that we have of the first half. This is the last second of the first half. Richard Thomas, that's a tough three-pointer there, and that'll give them something to build on here at halftime as they talk about what went wrong for them and what they've got to do in the second half.
Yeah, not much doing offensively for Illinois State. Richard Thomas, the leading scorer for them, that three-pointer gives him 5 for the first half. 28-16 our... And welcome back to Carver Arena. Bradley leading Illinois State 28-16, and we've of course talked about the race and the Braves trying to qualify for one of those final 2 spots in the Valley Conference Tournament. Here we look at the standings. Illinois State on top, but Southwest Missouri is red hot. They've won 9 in a row and only trail ISU by a game. Southern Illinois has stumbled somewhat, but guess what? They're right there. You go down and you find Bradley. They are 5-10. Creighton is 5-11. Indiana State 5-11, and that's who Bradley will have to contend with for the final 2 spots for Tulsa. Bob Bender's team down by 12, mainly because they shot just 30% from the field. Bradley
game, I thought it was kind of interesting. They went in at the half. We were only in there for a few minutes. They were back out shooting with over 6 minutes to go in the halftime. So, I think Bob Bender told them that they know what they have to do. They have to get back to their game plan and make it work and play like the veteran club that's leading this league.
ISU with its original starting lineup. For Bradley, it's White, Wright, Jackson, Winslow, and Pollard. Inside to Thomas Hunter. Count it and go to the line.
Well, there's one thing we didn't see in the entire first half. Vandegaard with that high-low pass into Hunter. Thomas Hunter with great position down there. Got the basket and the foul. Marcus Pollard in bad position playing behind there, and wasn't much he could do other than foul if he was going to try and block that shot.
Foul is on Marcus Pollard. That is his second. And Thomas Hunter, the junior, goes to the line. Only 60%, but he makes that one. And Illinois State is within 9 just like that. The three-point play. Billy Wright steps out of bounds. Actually dribbled it out of bounds right in front of us.
Well, we talked about the concentration earlier. You mentioned that regarding turnovers, that Bradley turned the ball over 8 times, which did include 3 charging calls in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. They finished the half with only 12, but they turn it over immediately there.
Richard Thomas turns it over with the travel.
That's a tough play, too, because that was a great backdoor cut. Nice pass. Richard with a shot fake. Slid. No, apparently slid his feet and got the traveling call, but he was in a dangerous spot that close to the basket there.
Surprised that Illinois State hasn't tried some pressure?
I think they're saving that. I would be very surprised if they didn't use it at some point in the game. They've shown it a couple of times, but just on a very limited basis and really haven't put any screws to them yet.
Good defense by the Redbirds. They trail by 9.
ISU's got a great start. Bradley's got 2 trips down the floor and 2 turnovers.
Thomas Hunter forced to adjust his shot. A little wild looking going up. 28-19 and a foul on Todd Wemhaner. It's a first on Wemhaner. And the Redbirds first of the second half. Todd Wemhaner's had a lot of success here at Carver Arena. The junior played for Quincy when they beat Manual back in 1990 and finished 4th in the state. And he was the All-Star MVP in the IBCA game here at Carver Arena later that summer. Billy Wright with it, the freshman. Team leader in assists. Only needs 5 to reach 100 for the season.
Bradley very small on the floor right now, taking Winslow out of the game.
Pollard in the lane, leaves it short. Charles White the rebound. And Jackson stole it away from Vandegaard. Billy Wright comes up with a jumper. It's short, and it's Richard Thomas. So now Bradley shooting coldly from the field. Taylor loses it, and it's Billy Wright with it. Can't hang on to the ball, either team here in the opening 2 minutes of the second half.
Starting to look a lot like the opening minutes of the game here. A lot of turnovers, a lot of missed shots. It's going to be a big advantage to the team that can put it together the earliest here and get their offensive game rolling.
The Braves have still not scored here in the second half, and we've played inside on Pollard. Net. 6 for Vandegaard. And the Birds are within 7. Jim Molinari wants a timeout.
Be very surprised if we didn't see ISU go continually down low. All the foul trouble with Bradley, Pollard, Winslow, Charles White, all with 2 fouls. It'd be very key for them to get the ball down low, get a foul on one of those 3 guys early in the second half.
ISU is within 7. Bradley with the 7-point lead. It's a 5-0 run for Illinois State here in the second half. Braves with some trouble getting it inbounds, but they do, and they set up offensively. Maybe it's just this end of the floor. Braves patiently work it. Pollard double team. Now he's one-on-one against Hunter.
Nice
Right
pass.
to Winslow for the jam.
Oh, what a pass by Billy right there. No look over the shoulder. Caught with a chainsaw underneath the basket for the dunk. That's the start that Bradley needed to get this crowd back into the game, get themselves going again.
Vandegaard the miss. Here comes Bradley with the 9-point lead.
Molinari right in front of us. Want Bradley to push the ball a little bit down the floor.
Suki, no good. Pollard over the back, no call. Now finally a whistle.
Got a foul on Mike Vandegaard.
No, it's on Pollard. Pollard was on his back. It's a good call, as you'll see if we get a replay of it.
That's Pollard's
It was
third.
a late whistle, but it was a good call. There's Vandegaard. Pollard knocked him to the floor.
A lot of contact there between Vandegaard and Taylor also. Here, you get another look at it from this angle. That's probably a good call. There's some contact there.
That's the third on Pollard.
Marcus is going to get a few of those the way he's going to the boards tonight. That's that third foul on the Bradley front line. Marcus has had a big game. He's got to realize now that he can't get a silly one here because the fourth foul will be really, really crucial.
Vandegaard, tough shot, no good. White saves it. And Billy Wright will bring it for the Braves with a 9-point lead, 16 minutes to play. Charles White with it, gives to Suki. Whistle away from the ball. Vandegaard was on the floor again. The foul is on Chainsaw. He's got 3, so just like that, Winslow and Pollard are in foul trouble. Jim Molinari talking with Pee Wee Summers right in front of us. There you get a good look at the play moments ago. Vandegaard the fake, but he walked. And another turnover for Illinois State. They have not taken very good care of the ball tonight.
And that's a turnover from one of your veteran players that you don't expect. I was looking right at it because I really like Vandegaard's game with his shot-taking ability. I didn't see him shuffle his feet that time, but he got called for the walk anyway.
Defense by Vandegaard causes the turnover. Redbirds bring it quickly the other way. Suki the kick. Give him the Trevor Trippy Award. ISU will get a new 45. Brian Kern checks in for Mike Vandegaard, who is greeted by the Bradley crowd. Hunter the follow-up, and it's good. Thomas Hunter with 6. Ball out of bounds, and it will remain with Bradley. Charles wants a foul.
Charles lost the ball out on the floor, about one dribble away from the basket. He thought he got hit on the arm as the reason he lost it, but he had a great lane there for a layup opportunity.
Deion Jackson checks in for Marcus Pollard. Pollard with 3 personals. Winslow still in there with 3. Braves inbounds with a 7-point lead. Knocked away by Richard Thomas. Crowd wanted a foul. There's Thomas, the fake free throw line jumper, but he walked. And that's a popular call here tonight by this crew.
Bob Bender up on his feet, walked right up to the officials and demonstrated that move. Said that's the way we teach it. That is not a travel.
And another phantom foul on Richard Thomas. That's his second team foul here in the second half.
I'll tell you what, right at the moment, we've got a pretty good game that is really being taken apart by the officiating. Some calls here that have really disrupted the flow of the game. That being one of them.
Well, they've been inconsistent, and I think that's what you don't like to see. Charles White, the jumper is good. Charles with 4. And it's back to a 9-point lead for the Braves. Hunter inside. Kern is fouled. No call. He made it. I tell you what, there was more contact on that than Richard Thomas made at half court.
ISU's been successful with that high-low pass from the free throw line down to the post-up player. They've worked it twice and gotten baskets both times.
Foul is on Wemhainer. His second, third team.
3 team fouls on each team now.
Altadonna will check in. The sophomore replaces Wemhainer. Remember, Altadonna had that great game against Bradley last year down at Redbird Arena when he shot lights out. Braves work it with a 7-point lead. Swatted away by ISU, swatted away by Bradley. Charles White controls.
David Winslow really working hard at the basket, posting up that time. He had the ball knocked away from him, but went right back at it and got it again. Boy, these guys play great defense. Both teams have definitely picked it up a little bit here in the second half. At the defensive end, they're getting a few fouls called on it, but evident by the amount of turnovers we've seen thus far in the second half.
Shot clock at 15. Inside, Winslow is fouled. Count it, and he'll go to the line for 3. And now a little altercation inside.
Looks like a football huddle out here. We got the offense huddling up at one end and the defense huddling up on the other side. There you see Kern just bellying up. Not much of a foul, but it's probably been tough for the players out here thus far in the second half, especially. They've called some fouls here in the second half that they didn't call in the first half, and it's going to, the players are going to have to adjust and figure out what is being called and what's not being called and play the game accordingly.
The Chainsaw, 6'8", 220 sophomore, 22 points, 23 rebounds in his last 3 games. He makes the free throw. He's got 11. And it's back to a 10-point Bradley lead with 13:06 to play. Barnes into the ball game for ISU. Oh, a good start to the second half for Illinois State, but they're still down 10. Whittled away a little bit into that lead. Thomas pulls up for 3. It's good. He's 2 for 2 from there. The senior comes through for the Redbirds. He has 8. Seven-point Bradley lead. Charles White works on Altadonna. Turnaround jumper is good. Charles with 6. Fourth team foul of the second half. first two of the ball game gives Bradley an 11-point lead. By the freshman. 39-28. Illinois State scored the first 5 points of the second half, but good defense by Bradley to lead by 11.
Well, Billy in the right place at the right time that time was the recipient of just an errant pass. Took it down, made a pretty tough layup.
There you take a look at our election results, courtesy of News 25. We will have an update for you following the ball game on News 25 night side with Tom McIntyre and Anna Werner. Weather with Hooley. Sports with Doug Bisbee coming up later on tonight here on WEEK. 11:40 to play in the ball game. It's Bradley by 11. This is not the same Bradley team that played Utah on opening night.
Definitely not the same Bradley team we saw down at Southern Illinois a little over a month ago.
And it's not the same Illinois State team that's leading the Valley either. I guarantee you they didn't get there playing like this.
They've done a few things very uncharacteristically of themselves tonight.
19 turnovers by Illinois State. Gray's content to bring it up and work it a little bit with an 11-point lead. Can hang on, they would be in great shape to get to the Valley tournament. White knocks over Vandegaard. Deion Jackson's shot no good. Barnes drives, nowhere to go, gets tied up, gives to Altadonna, who gets stripped in the lane. It'll be a foul on Billy Wright. Boy, Barnes just had nowhere to go when he drove.
First prize, $500.
Altadonna will go to the line to shoot two. 6'3", sophomore from Centralia.
201-340. Second prize.
Didn't shoot very well in game one against the Braves. He had 8 points, but was only 2 of 7 from the field. He's 75% at the line, and the first one is good. Chad Altadonna, his first points in the ball game.
Orange ticket 202-813.
And he makes the second one.
Blue ticket 204-244.
Illinois State with the man-to-man pressure, but it hasn't really caused Bradley any trouble whatsoever.
I'm surprised they haven't gotten in a situation where they trap out of it and really try and create a turnover.
Especially with the troubles Bradley had against Tulsa's press on Saturday. They managed to win, but Tulsa just didn't take advantage of the turnovers when they were there. Jackson, baseline jumper's good. Deion Jackson with it. And it's an 11-point lead with 10 minutes to go. Bradley goes to Drake Thursday night. They host Northern Iowa Saturday. Nobody can hang onto the ball. Barnes for three is no good. Pollard had the rebound, and it's Bradley's ball. Thomas Hunter checks back into the ball game. Kern takes a seat for ISU. Here comes pressure.
The difference between ISU's pressure and what Tulsa tried to do Saturday. Tulsa didn't let Bradley get the ball inbounds, and on the first pass they went and double team. ISU is just happy to give them a little bit of competition bringing the ball up the floor, but really have not tried to put the screws on them at all defensively.
Marcus Pollard in double figures with 10.
And a big block by Deion Jackson.
This crowd is on its feet. remember the last time I said that.
Well, these people have been told for a long, long time that good things are going to happen to this program. And by the way things have gone just here in the last week or so, they may be starting to reap some of those rewards.
Jim Molinari says his team is playing like men.
Well, they've got a lot of freshmen. It's got a lot of experience. They're no longer playing like freshmen.
Charles White gives Bradley a 15-point lead that matches their biggest. Hunter gives to Cagle. Boy, Bradley's playing great defense. Ball was kicked, a new 45 for the Redbirds. Richard Thomas checks back in. Richard Thomas with 8 points. Two of them from two baskets from three-point range. Barnes will fire it up from there and miss. Well, Bob Bender might want the threes, but I'm not sure if he wants Barnes shooting them. .45 to play. Bradley by 15. Jackson! Bradley by 17, and if this guy isn't the freshman of the year in the Valley, there isn't one. Deion Jackson with 11, and the intimidating move there. Bradley Trivia brought to you by your mighty Mitsubishi dealers, Parkway Mitsubishi Normal, Pioneer Park Mitsubishi, and Peoria. We gave you this question earlier. Can you name the two Bradley guards on the top 10 all-time NCAA career assist list? If you didn't get this one, you have to turn in your Bradley Chiefs Club card. Jim Less and Anthony Manuel, top 11 all-time NCAA in assists. And Billy Wright might join him before it's all over. 7:30 to play. A 17-point Bradley lead. Vandegaard in the lane, and we haven't said that very much tonight. He's got 8. That is an 8-0 Bradley run. 47-32. Don't expect many quick shots from the Braves at this point.
Well, right now, you've got things in control. You're right. They're going to milk some time off the clock. But one thing I hope they don't do is I think they've got to continue to look to score. When the shot becomes available, you've got to take the shot.
3 more years, folks. He's got 13.
That's exactly what they're thinking in the Bloomington Normal area, too.
Vandegaard makes it. He'll go to the free throw line. He makes his second bucket in a row.
Foul on Deion Jackson there, playing defense against Mike Vandegaard. Here's a replay of it. Deion straight up. You can see him walk in. That's a lot like the foul that Brian Kern was called on earlier when David Winslow had the post-up move.
John Litweiler, the freshman from Morton, checks into the ball game for Todd Cagle. Marcus Pollard will take a seat for the Braves. He is replaced by David Winslow. Vandegaard, 68% at the free throw line, makes it. It's 49-35. Redbirds show the pressure. And it looks like they're going to double. Almost threw it away.
There's the double again.
The count is at 8 and 9, and they just get it across. Back to Jackson for the jam.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it sure worked well on the second half of that play. If you can beat that pressure down front, Illinois State putting a lot of people down there trying to trap and steal that ball. If you break that, you're going to get a 3-on-1 or a 2-on-1 opportunity at the other end, and Jackson buried the dunk.
That count was at 9.5 when they got it across midcourt. Bradley turnover. It's 51-35. Raised by 16, that's their biggest lead. Taylor, the miss. Charles White says, let's slow it down a little. Well, there was a time when the talk around town was Bradley might not win another game all season. The talk is they might not lose another game in the regular season. Last time they won 3 straight was November of '91. A 5-second count against Bradley, and what you said is true, Roger. They didn't look to score there, and they turned it over. Bob Bender, his 4th season at Illinois State. Trying for his 2nd straight regular season title. They won the Valley Tournament his 1st year at Illinois State. They are in danger of falling into a first-place tie with Southwest Missouri State. Thomas, the drive, has it stripped. Hunter puts it up. Thomas Hunter, the preseason newcomer of the year with 8. Kurt Smith from Drake is a lock for that honor. Leading the Valley in scoring. 51-37.
Counts on again.
Suki guarded by Litweiler. This is Marcus Pollard. The game of keep away continues. He almost walked. And Billy Wright saved it right to Todd Wemhaner, who almost gets it stripped away. Why didn't the shot, there, the shot clock finally reset. They were very late on that. Taylor for 3 is no good. Not the shot Bob Bender wanted. Crowd wants a foul. Number 14 on number 14. They played against each other for 4 years. Suki puts it up, no good. Rebound ISU, they lose it, and White comes up with it. Bradley hasn't done anything wrong tonight.
They've come up with a lot of loose balls.
Impressive. 3:40 to go. And the foul is on Wemhaner. His 3rd.
5th team foul.
Brian Kern replaces Thomas Hunter for Illinois State. We've got 3:35 to play, and it looks like Bradley is going to pick up win number 9. They lead it by 14.
Sponsored by Legend Camera.
From here, Bob Bender's Redbirds go to Drake as well. They play there Saturday, and then they are home Monday against Northern Iowa, so their Valley schedule is identical to Bradley's from here on in. Bradley, of course, finishes next Monday against DePaul here at home. It's going to be a game of keep away for the final 3:20. Jim Molinari is 0-3 against Bradley going into this one. To pick up his first career win against the Redbirds. Suki. No good for Roger. Well, Iowa was down 17 at Michigan State. Trying to pump some drama into this ball game, huh? Kern, goaltending on Pollard. Give Kern the bucket, he's got 4. Pressure now by Illinois State.
Obviously, goaltending. The ball had hit the glass prior to being touched by Pollard.
Bradley handles the pressure quite easily here. Tied up by Litweiler, and he will pick up his first foul, the freshman from Morton. 16th foul on ISU, so Bradley will shoot the bonus on the next foul. Not that it's going to matter much right here.
New shot clock with the foul, so expect Bradley to run most of it off before we even look at the ball.
Oh, Winslow had a dunk if he could have controlled it. Under 2 minutes to play now. Thursday night, the Globetrotters will be in here at 7 o'clock, and yours truly, the newest member of the Washington Generals.
I was going to say, I heard the Generals got a big free agent signing earlier today.
What's that?
I heard the Washington Generals got a big free agent signing earlier today.
Well, what the heck? They haven't won a game ever. They might as well try something. I've played on a lot of teams like that.
Now that's free agent signing in Lee Hall.
That should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not too proud to be humiliated on a basketball court. Made a career of it at St. Bernard's. Antonio Cooper will check into the ball game for senior Richard Thomas. Cooper played at Thornridge, of course, where Bradley Athletic Director Ron Ferguson coached when he was a high school coach. Charles White, 6'1", senior from Central. This is the first one. Well, Charles is going to go out a winner here on TV 25, and after 4 years of covering him, I'm happy for him that his last appearance on TV is a winner, at least here on TV 25. Of course, they will be televised next week on WGN TV. Turn the jumper is good. He's got 6. And we've got a minute to play. A 10-point Bradley lead, and we have 58.9 left in this one. Charles Billy Wright is at the line. Charles White just toweled off in front of us. The back of his jersey looks like he's changed the oil tonight in his car. He has been he's been all over the place. Wayne Broussard in for Pollard. He checks out with 10. One of 3 Braves in double figures tonight.
Nice job by Marcus there. Got his 3rd foul early in the second half. Managed to play the rest of the game without picking up that 4th.
Team leader in assists, steals, and free throw percentage. Billy Wright with the free throw. Makes them both. And another ISU turnover.
Stepped on the sideline.
Rick Harris started this ball game, but really didn't play very much. He checks in for Charles White.
Well, the Braves are going to be 4-0 with Rick Harris in the starting lineup. I'll make you a small wager that Rick Harris is once again in the starting lineup.
Well, it's our last game to do play-by-play of Charles White, and I must say he is an outstanding human being, and I've really enjoyed working with him over the last 4 years. Same goes for Richard Thomas, his opposite number for Illinois State. And thankfully, I'm sure the viewing audience at Bloomington Normal is happy to see this one wind down. The Illinois Illinois State will be tied with Southwest Missouri State atop the Valley standings. The good news for the Redbirds is if they finish in a tie with Southwest Missouri State, they would win the tiebreaker and be the top seed in the Valley tournament because they have beaten the Bears twice this season. Which I'm sure is a little consolation for the Birds. Chuck Barnes at the line. Wayne Broussard to Harris. Brian Kern will spoil the good time there with 12.2 to play. Well, you got to figure Bradley is better than a decent shot at beating Northern Iowa here. Can they win at Drake?
Well, Drake's been on a 4-game skid themselves. We thought earlier in the year they'd have a chance to be at the top of this Valley race, and they kind of went on a slide. And this game here has definitely got to give Bradley some more confidence. They are just on a roll right now. Their last 3 games, and it's going to be a good contest up there in at Drake. There's the Mullen Army. It's become a tradition here.
Marcus Pollard's not too excited, is he? The high five for Lee and Roger and anybody else that gets in his path. Look at that. What's going to happen when this team makes it to the NCAA tournament? I'm not sure if I want to be in the building. Might not get out of here without an injury. Well, this is good to see. Enthusiastic Bradley Brave fans once again. They storm the floor. Have they cut down the nets yet? Welcome back to Carver Arena. 55-41 our final, Bradley over Illinois State. And I guess you'd have to label this one an upset.
Oh, definitely. The team just battling for a chance to play in a postseason tournament really came in and dominated the league's best. And just a great overall effort from Bradley.
It looked, at least for a couple of moments there at the beginning of the second half, ISU scored the first 5. It looked like they might make a run and get back in the ball game, but Bradley just did not let that happen.
That's right. They've done that now in the last 3 games. When teams have come at them pretty tough, they've managed to bolt it down and to sustain their own intensity and play through those little lapses and put on a little bit of running themselves and put themselves in a position to win a game.
If you look at the scoring for Bradley, the front line was really a big key for them. Pollard with 10. We had Winslow with 11, Deion Jackson the game-high 15 for Bradley. And that's something that we haven't seen all season. I think when Marcus Pollard is in double figures, Bradley is something like 5-2 or 6-2. And that's been a key, not so much that Marcus Pollard is in double figures, but that they have a big man.
Somebody is in double figures and somebody around the basket, which means they're getting a little better shot. I really like the offense, the way it's been. As of late, we're getting a lot of cuts to the basket, a lot of screens being set out on the floor with players heading toward the basket. That's a big difference as opposed to always setting a screen down low, the player coming off the top side of the screen, moving away from the basket to receive a pass. It just seems like they've been able to open up lanes more, and we're getting more people driving to the basket. And, it's hard to describe because it's a completely different team than what we've seen earlier in the year. And, we say earlier in the year, we're talking about a week and a half ago. It's amazing how they've turned it around so quickly.
And Billy Wright, of course, making some nice knife-like passes through the Illinois State defense tonight to help find the open man and make it look awfully easy at times.
Some terrific passes. One that comes to mind, that pass where he threw it over his shoulder blindly and caught David Winslow for a uncontested dunk. Just a great play. And it's plays like that when you slow the game down, a play like that really brings the crowd back into it and gets them on their feet. And this crowd has really started to embrace this ball club and this system that Jim Molinari has tried to put in for 2 years now. Looks like it's starting to take hold, and I think the key is I think the team is starting to believe in the system.
Well, you look at what Bradley's done defensively the last few games. They held Indiana State to 6 points in the second half. Tulsa comes in here averaging 75 points. They only get 57. Bradley holds Illinois State to 30% shooting in the first half. But look what they've done offensively. They've shot 50% or better their last 4 games, and that's been overlooked.
Right. I really like the fact we talked about in the second half here for those games and just be on a tremendous roll going into the Valley tournament. It looks like, barring, a complete collapse, they're going to make it now.
Well, maybe Molinari will give us a break now. We finally got him a win on TV.
Well, we saved the best for last.
Thanks to everybody who's made Bradley basketball happen here on WEEK this season, including you, my friend.
Hey, it's been great, and, best of luck to them. I know you're going to work the Valley tournament down there. I'm going to try to get down there and see some games myself for a change. It's going to be exciting down there. There's going to be a lot of teams that are not going to want to play Bradley.
Well, hopefully the Braves will join yours truly on Sports Channel from St. Louis and Arch Madness. 55-41 the final. The Braves improved to 9-14, 6-10 in the Valley. For Roger Fegley and our crew here